Hey you guys, this is a little awkward. I haven't been on for months, but God asked me to step away from ministry, and I'm not gonna say it was hard, but God was transitioning me to a lot of different things. So I had to step away and focus on Him and focus on the new adventures and doors that He had for me. So, hi you guys. For those who are new to my channel, I used to be Elegant Ann, but now I changed it to Brianna Colley because that's what God told me to do. So my name is Brianna Colley. I give words of God, I give encouragements, I teach people scriptures. Whatever the Lord leads me to talk about, that's exactly what I talk about. I give personal testimonies, all the crazy things that God has done in my life, because I know that everything that I go through is not for me, it's literally for the people behind me. So all that's tossed to the side. So yeah, I've been absent for months, but a lot of amazing things has happened for me. And in later videos, I will share all of my testimonies. But I will say one thing. Before I went away, I gave a prophetic word called abundance. And I gave examples of how I had so many hair products and I had so many feminine products and how it just represented abundance, you having more than enough. And I've experienced that a lot in this season. Like, for example, with finances, I brought a lot of expensive things this season. A lot of expensive things. Like, one time I was at the store and I was buying a lot of expensive things, and then I still had a lot of money left over. I literally texted my friend. I was like, I like this feeling. Me growing up in poverty, I've always heard, oh, we can't afford that, or oh, that's a lot of money, and but when God places you in abundance, you have more than enough. And while I was away, God taught me about the manna mindset. Manna is the stuff that came from heaven to feed the Israelites. So the manna mindset, a lot of people think that, okay, like for example, let's say that you need groceries and somebody were to bless you with groceries. Now that is a blessing because you really needed the groceries and someone blessed you with it. But the true blessing is that not only can you buy your groceries, but you can buy someone else's groceries. That's abundance. That's the life that God wants us to live. But God gives us wisdom on how to get to there, because sometimes it's money management that's stopping us from living that life of abundance. So that word came to pass in my life. I don't know if it came to pass in your life. If it did, please email me. But I want to talk about this word. The word is restored plus more. If you are new to my channel, let me tell you, last year was a horrible year for me. I mean, back-to-back losses. Things was taken from me, accounts were closing, things were shutting down on me. It was a very depressing time of my life last year. Now, God warned me. He gave me the book of Job. And when he gave me that book, I was like, oh, no, I don't want that. And then when all those things were starting to happen, I was mentally shutting down because I have never experienced that level of humiliation and that level of loss in my life. So it was just such a hard time. I was losing so much weight because I was barely eating. I was really stressed out. I felt humiliation because everybody saw all of the bad things that were happening to me. So it was a really hard time for me. And when God kept giving me promises of, I'm gonna restore these things, trust me, keep walking, I allowed this thing to happen for a reason, it was hard for me to believe that because of my circumstances and everything I was seeing. But y'all, restoration came. It came full-fledged. And when I tell you, the things that I lost, not only was it restored, but it was more. Not only was it restored, but it was better than what I had before. And the reason why I shared this testimony is because somebody out there probably lost something. You probably had something taken from you. And you're like, God, I don't know what you're doing in this situation. But one thing that I learned is that sometimes God will put you in a very uncomfortable situation to shift you. Sometimes God will allow loss to happen to you, so that when he gives it back to you, now you know how to steward those things properly. For me, when I was dealing with so much financial hardship years ago, it taught me how to finance money better, and it taught me to take care of it, because I've been in a season where I didn't have it, and then when God blessed me with it, now I knew what to do with it, because I treated it as though it was a second chance for me. So restore plus more, it should be an encouraging word for you, because if you are going through a Job season, let me just say my condolences to you. That is not an easy season, and people who have never been through that will never understand your emotions and your pain. But me being on the other side of manifestation, and when you're in the land of milk and honey, when I tell you it's worth it, it was worth it when God did what he did to those things. Because let me tell you something else. God broke a spirit off of my life. He broke a spirit off of my life, because money has a lot to do with mindset. If you believe certain things, you're going to act on it. So if you believe that you can't afford certain things, you're going to act on it. You're going to have such a poverty mindset that it's going to drive you crazy. But when God breaks that spirit off of you and he teaches you about money, and he also tells you, which is another thing that God taught me before I left, is that as Christians, as believers, we can have nice things. We can, C-A-N, we can have nice things. The world tries to tell Christians, if you talking about Jesus and you're making a profit off of it, you're selling out. But God wants us to have a prosperous life. Now, I'm not saying you desire these things more than God, but God gives us wisdom. And if you want certain things, then you have to pray to God and ask God for the wisdom to get those things and how to maintain those things. Because if you look at the story of the talents, the person gave each person the talents that person knew that they would steward over. So the person who had one talent and they did nothing with it, that person knew, like, hey, I already know you cannot handle more than this. And that's how God is with some of us. Like, God knows I cannot trust you with $1. So I'm going to give you this little bit amount of money, and until you get it right, this is all you're going to get from me. And if you want God to put you in seasons of abundance and increase and overflow, you have to start managing what's in front of you now. So if you are in a season of loss, my condolences to you, for real. But understand that you are coming out of that season, and you're coming out better than when you came in. I'm a testimony of that. I mean, my mindset has no limits on it. I literally say my Father can afford anything on this planet, so God, give me the wisdom on how to get this thing. That's literally how I flow. Because I used to have a really strong poverty mindset over my life. It was ridiculous. Like, if I could just share some things with y'all would be disturbed. But restore plus more. If you are dealing with loss, back-to-back losses, just know that God will restore it, and he'll give you more, and he'll give you better than what you had before. So again, I'm so sorry that I've been away. God is so good. He is so good. He is a restorer. That's my homie. We be having our moments, but God is so good. And just keep the faith, keep encouragement, keep walking, keep believing God for certain things, because it will come to pass. Don't worry about it, it'll come to pass. So I love you guys, and I will talk to you guys later.